We're back at it, live in the flesh, with another one. We're gonna dive into it. So, yo, what's up, y'all? The topic that I want to cover tonight, let's talk about sacrifice. So, nowadays, you have a lot of women running around basking in the same thing that they say they don't like. You say you don't like toxic masculinity, you don't like masculinity, right? The same system that allow you the freedom to be able to run around and say that. How do you think it happened? How do you think it came about? How can I expound on something like this? When I was 13 years old, I went to my father's house and he gave me something that kind of woke me up to the world. It was a all black 3-ring binder, 3-inch, and inside of it, it had a bunch of pictures in it, some of them black and white, some of them in color. And as I thumbed through this book, what I saw were dead people. And these pictures were from Vietnam. So if you haven't put two and two together, the person in that thumbnail is my father. If you look close enough at the picture, that acronym stands for Explosive Ordnance Disposal. Part of his job while he was in country was to set booby traps. It wasn't to kill one or two people. It was to take out squads. It was to take out large numbers of Viet Cong and NVA. And the story that he told me, based on this one picture that I saw, was that they took the delays out of hand grenades and they set up a booby trap and they got into a firefight with these Viet Cong. And when it came time for them to use the grenades, the first one that they pulled took out a bunch of people. And then they ran into the trap that my father and his comrades had set. Now, when you listen to a story like that, do it sound toxic? Do it sound violent? Do it sound like something that, as a woman, that you would want to do? Probably not. From the time I was 13, I understood that in this country that we live in, men may be asked to risk it all. And when I say men may be asked to risk it all, I'm talking about a draft. I'm talking about something serious where the safety net of the world kind of comes apart and then it has to be kind of put back in order. And who has to go halfway around the world to a foreign beach in a foreign land with people who speak a foreign language and probably have to die in that place. My old man told me that when he was in the army, he really didn't make friends because they really didn't last too long. When you guys come out and you talk all of this shit about masculinity, understand the only reason why you're able to have the voice that you have is because a bunch of men went somewhere and were extremely toxic for a reason. Whether or not you believe in the essence of this country or not, that's not my concern. What I'm talking about is when the rubber hit the road and we really have to lay it all on the line, the men are going to pay the ultimate price. The same men that y'all come out and say that y'all don't like, the same men that y'all want to pay all the bills and want to do all of these different things, you want them to take you on trips, you want them to take care of every single need and want that you have. Those are the men that would have to lay it down on the line. But see, we don't talk about that because the world is a fuzzy and it's a comfy and fuzzy place right now, right? And it's going to always be like that. Nothing like that happened in our lifetime, huh? Because I vividly remember 9/11 happening, and we never thought that was coming, huh? Even as a lot of y'all push this BS out into the atmosphere about what men are and what men are not, there are guys halfway around the world right now risking it all. Not saying that there's not any women doing it, but not at the same numbers. My cousin is about to retire from the U.S. Army. I come from a family where there is a lot of military service. So I've always understood what sacrifice meant. So whenever you get out here and you spew that poisonous rhetoric about what men are and what men are not, understand the only reason why you're able to say it, the absolute only reason why you're able to say it is because somebody is out there putting it on the line. Somebody's husband, somebody's brother, somebody's father, somebody's uncle. The same men that you talk about. And I'm not saying you talk about servicemen, but when you talk about men in general, you're looping them into the conversation. Or think about it like this. Whenever it's time for your son to go over there and probably not come back, would you still be saying the same thing? You got to be careful about these organizations we align ourselves with. Not me specifically, because I mean, I see it for what it is, but a lot of y'all women, bro, y'all jump in these organizations and you really don't understand the message that they pushing. That's some seriously dangerous rhetoric that you pushing. And for the men, we'll go because we look at the bigger picture. But don't get so in your emotions that you start to align yourself with organizations and with people who put a narrative out there that is completely opposite of what you love and enjoy. Because I'm going to tell you, the world is not as safe and comfy as you think it is. There's work that goes behind not having to worry about whether or not somebody's going to invade this country. There's work that goes behind understanding that nobody's going to kick in my door tonight. I just call the police. What if the police stop answering? What if ain't no police around? What you gonna do? Call your uncle? What you gonna do? Call your brother? What if they got wives and girlfriends of their own? But don't listen to me. I don't know shit. I'm just talking. Don't listen to me. I don't know nothing. I'm just rambling on. I don't know what I'm talking about. But for your sake, I hope that you're right. I hope that you're right. And more than likely, you're not. Like, comment, subscribe. That's all I got for tonight. Big bro gonna catch up with y'all. Bet.